Namo Gurube. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharamaya. Namo Sanghaya. Gurube. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharamaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Gurube. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharamaya. Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing generosity and the other far-reaching attitudes, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing generosity and the other far-reaching attitudes, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing generosity and the other far-reaching attitudes, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. So we'll collectively read where we left off, or start reading from where we left off, and then after that, Geshe and I will share a few thoughts in addition to the commentary here in the text, and then from then on, we'll surrender the mic to our participants for any topics of discussion, questions, or comments you may have. So, if you can turn to page 155.
되게 뒷바지야지다.
라.
되게 뒷바지야지다.
아, 말해.
담아든 용이 오케이 말.
말해.
말.
아, 숨도.
나.
숨 말해.
송여를 뒤와만데.
아, 너 엄마 내려 왜?
오케이 말.
알라.
근데 시카지지 만들 말.
알라. Okay. Let me just, for the sake of us following this together.
바지안 방식입니다.
지단계, 봐.
네.
알면 이제 간디 인샤스. We're going to post 155. It's just a couple sentences at the bottom there, just to give you an idea and context of where we are in the text. The three that we posted previously are the pages that come after, or the commentary that come after. And for those of you who, okay, so if you can refer to the picture there, you'll see page 155. So where we are, we actually do have, and we're still getting a hold of the PDF version of the entire text. And once we have that, we'll post it, and you'll be able to follow each and every page. But for context, we're going through a portion of the text called, or that explains what is known as the Tonglen practice. And this practice is referred to in stanza 7. So if you open up the PDF there, you'll see a stanza. You'll see the commentary on the 8 verses of thought transformation. And on page 54, in the commentary, you'll see a mention of Tonglen practice. And this is where explanation of the Tonglen practice is separately explained or separately taught here in Geshe's commentary. And so within the Tonglen practice portion of this text, the Tonglen practice is broken down into 5 categories, of which the first 4 we went through a couple of weeks ago. Just to refresh your memories though, the first of these 5 categories was the equality of oneself and others. The second is the disadvantages of self-cherishing. The third is the benefits of cherishing others. The fourth is exchange of self with others. And then the fifth, which you see there on page 155, at the very bottom there is giving and receiving meditation. So please read along with us. We'll go through a small portion of this, and then Yisham and I will share with you a few thoughts on this section. So giving and receiving meditation. The 5th topic is the practice of giving and receiving, or Tonglen meditation. The 4 preceding topics come together in Tonglen meditation practice. Now page 156. Actual meditation. Visualize the field of merit. When we are in the proper physical position, we visualize the merit field. There are several types of merit field visualizations from the Langri that we can do. 2 are listed below. The first is a more extensive visualization for advanced students. The second visualization is abbreviated for beginning students or for advanced practitioners with limited time. Extensive visualization. We visualize the merit field at eye level in the space in front of us. In the center, we visualize a huge throne on top of which is a smaller throne, and higher up in the center is our root guru and other gurus around him. We should visualize Shakyamuni Buddha as the principal figure of the merit field. To the right of Shakyamuni Buddha, we visualize Buddha Maitreya surrounded by the lamas of the expansive conduct lineage, i.e. the lamas of the path and stages. On the left of Shakyamuni Buddha, we visualize the Buddha, Manjushri, and gurus of the profound wisdom lineage. At the center, right behind and above him, we visualize the lineage gurus of blessed practices. In front of Shakyamuni Buddha, we visualize the root guru with all of these subsequent lineage gurus down to our present guru. They are all encircled by the meditational deities of the 4 classes of Tantra. Since there are countless meditational deities, yidams, We have to believe that the entire community of meditational deities is on that spot. We also need to visualize the presence of all of the 1,000 Buddhas of the fortunate era, including the 8 medicine Buddhas, 35 confession Buddhas, and so forth. We have to feel the presence of all of the countless Buddhas in the space in front of us. Just below the Buddhas, we visualize the presence of the Bodhisattvas. We must be as imaginative as possible so that we feel the presence of limitless numbers of Bodhisattvas. Below them, we visualize the presence of Arahats and Arya beings, of the Pratyeka Buddhas and Shravakas. Just below them, we visualize the presence of all the Dakas and Dakinis, including all the Dakas and Dakinis who are beyond the world. The bottom row is encircled by the Dharmapalas, including those that are beyond the world, such as 6-armed Mahakala, Kalarupa, and so on. We have to believe very strongly that the presence of all these beings is like the constellations of stars in the sky. Abbreviated visualization. We visualize the Buddha at eye level, 2 arm lengths away, seated on a large golden throne. The throne is adorned with precious jewels and supported at each of the 4 corners by a pair of snow lions. His seat consists of a large open lotus on top of which rest 2 radiant discs, a white moon disc and a golden sun disc, resting one on top of the other. These 3 objects represent the 3 principal realizations of the path to great enlightenment. The lotus, renunciation or compassion, the sun, emptiness, and the moon, bodhicitta. Buddha is seated in the full lotus posture, smiling beautifully at all beings. He is clad in saffron-colored robes and radiating golden light. The palm of his right hand rests on his right knee. His left hand holds a bowl filled with nectar, resting in his lap. The nectar represents the teachings that cure our deluded states of mind. Buddha's loving, compassionate gaze looks at each of us with total acceptance, free of judgment and favoritism. His whole being radiates love and omniscience, streaming from his heart to ours. These rays fill us with courage and strength to successfully complete the practice of giving and receiving. It is important for us to keep in mind the inseparability of the Buddha and our Guru. Tini Dwari to Slano, Mishra,
Ten Dojana.
Ore,
Singing Shingon Dojana.
Ore,
Dwari, while the Dwari to the Omega Light.
Oresha, Resha,
Ten Dojana.
Ore. Page 158. Visualizing the field of sentient beings. After we have visualized the object of refuge or the merit field, we need to envision our own Father on our right and our own Mother on our left. Immediately behind us, we visualize all our relatives, siblings, and good friends. Immediately in front of us, we should visualize our worst enemies or those we simply don't like, as well as animals we fear, such as snakes, birds, scorpions, etc. In short, we need to imagine very strongly the entire community of sentient beings in the 6 realms all around us. But we should visualize them all in the form of human beings who are experiencing internally the respective suffering of the particular realm they belong to, like the hell realm, etc. That is how we should imagine them, all undergoing the most unbearable suffering of their particular place, but externally in the form of human beings. Just the sight of these beings should help produce a strong, forceful compassion inside of us. And in this center, we should make a very strong and forceful wish for the immediate end to their suffering. More than that, we need to make a very strong wish to remove all the causes of suffering. We should think how wonderful it would be if we could remove their negative mental states and bad actions. By thinking more about this, we develop stronger compassion, removing suffering from all others and loving kindness, giving happiness to all others. So we'll stop there in terms of reading for today. If you can turn back to the previous page, we'd like to go over different portions of the visualization.
Sonam saya cho saya ki xin cho saya ki xi dou ji xin dou ji zang zhe bei dou ji mai ne zo ji dang xin si de zhe xin ge lai de ka zhe zo ge sa ji dong ju xin du dong zhe dong zhuo dong ni la su ba de zang ma xin de den ji gu gu yo ra de na xin ge dang su ge sang ji ji ko ma to ma su ge wa ji ka de gu gu yo ne ge wa sa wa che ba la ya xin le den ne sa gu gu yo ra de xin de le xin ni mi de是吧 야제와이는 군초 다 초신 초신 되더라. 아니 제 장로의 초신이나 나다 가려나 라마기 신이 군초 송 제 나다 바가르스 그래. 지구로 제와이나 라마 이당 상지 정신 보 간로 추종 송마라 소도 제 아니 내가 저 기타 소소기 진지마 동안 라소 페이지 되네 초사야기 신디 아니요 저 신제 초사야기 이자노 이지도데 약간 줄을 때는 사야다 아니요 저 말 신제를 때는 사야 뭐라니 인상들에 먼저 신신 쓰고야 돼 용당하고도 되겠어
So if you go back to page 156, you'll see the explanation on visualizing what is known as the field of merit or merit fields. When we use the term merit field, what it's meant to be understood is a field or a basis or an object from which we accumulate merit or positive karma. And there are different types, just as mentioned here. There are different types of merit fields, and the one initially mentioned or explained is the one where Shakyamuni Buddha is emphasized as being in the center, is what is known as the refuge merit field. And then the second type of merit field involves visualizing all sentient beings or being surrounded by all sentient beings. So a merit field that contains the Buddhas, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, one's lamas and gurus, deities, protectors, bodhisattvas, so on and so forth. All these beings that that symbolize all the greatest qualities and all the qualities that we aspire to, and then a merit field that involves all other sentient beings, both close beings, or beings that we're close to, strangers, and then those that we're not close to or we're not fond of.
지난 소신 고야 될래야 소소소기 소신 고담마라마라 들려레스 비차신 달라데 잠로 소신도 시작해도 근데 챤더니 비차잖아 라마추바라에 라마추바 소신 가den 하지 있는 가den 하지 소신 나 아니 소소기 그래서 말다 소신 가래 냐솔랭이요나 뒤가도 소소소 소신 가가 용어라 나 소신 하나 어서 다지고 제와이나니 다 도스 다 남아이다 산지 장신 보고 간 주종 소면 사마도스마 시사부지 공통에 있는 다 주대서 영에 있는 공투라 근데 공 자샤네 소소다 강한대냥 얘기랑 라마 자외 라마도네 다 산지 고드스나 산지 드스나다 고드스 참아긴 제뇽 외와 인자 산지 있고 되네 랑기 라마다 산지 모야메다 따는 도스 제네 로라야 오차와체 안디 지 데이터네 안에 가서 woser 주도 제야 도스 제네 제레 동보시 뭐 있나 도스 제샤네 리와라 하더니 가르간사야 공도 되잖아요 지시에 라마 참아마 디야 단지 라마 이나 선지 자세 보고 주요 스마 참만 도스마 제 소신 기 자주도 됐어요 같이 안더니 공부하려고 오지 차나 yes 더니 되게 좋아라 아마 내도 뭐 오지 데스 참아 알아두고 말아 내도 말아 소신 공부하다 소신이 나샤다 데스 데스 하면 오늘 갈래가고 여러 대인들 잔다 갈래가고 간다 되는 뭐 쉬우지에 도 자샤나 소소로 참아도 강에 뭐라 저도 강에 많이 답대 오체네 소소 강 라마 땡겨 소소 진데 라마 가제 땡요요나 그래서 라마 돼서 다 소소게 라마 대바 치슈도서 그 라마데 아니 기래야도 삼바 대웅온도데 아니 또 마셔자도 기 코노니 온데 랑이 라마이 마체 나바도데 또 마셔자도 나마체 도스 고 안티 여드랑이 라마 가젠제뉴요나 데스 도스 고체 아니 콘스 차망 온지 바치 도스 제니 고 안티 돈을 왜 저도 데스 제션 아니 과라 저도 제한테 다치다 소신 집어공 통행이나니 가가가 지하여라 아데 저도 제한테 제일 시간을 했어요 어떤 뜻이 상상하라
So once one develops enough experience and familiarization with a meditation on the merit field, it'll become easier to visualize each and every detail described. If you look at the explanation of the extensive visualization, where the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, meditational deities, Dakas, Dakinis, so on and so forth, are all explicitly mentioned in detail as the object of visualization. You'll see that there's a lot involved and a lot of different and many different aspects and different deities and emanations to visualize. And so if one slowly develops a familiarization and habituation with this visualization, it'll become easier to visualize in more detail and visualize more elaborately. But for someone who is just starting out, who is very new to the visualization of the merit field, what you can focus on is the main Buddha, or Shakyamuni Buddha, being inseparable from the Guru, or one's main Guru, or one's root Guru. And then from there, having established the visualization of the Buddha being inseparable from one's Guru, or the Buddha being a manifestation of one's Guru, one can then start visualizing what is known as light blessing, absorption, and I'm looking for the right words here. Light blessing, I guess you could call it light, radiating light, and then absorption of that light. So it's both radiating from the object, one's visualization with it, which is the Buddha inseparable from one's Lama, and then absorbing and then radiating out, and then absorbing inwards. So this is the second part of the visualization that one can incorporate once one develops a strong visualization of the Buddha inseparable from one's main Guru. And then just kind of going back to the different types of merit fields, the one that's emphasized here again is known as the refuge merit field. But then there's also, for example, the merit field mentioned in the Guru Yoga, or the Lama Chopa, or the Guru Yoga merit field, and others and other variations as well.
Deje disan dangazo tende sushin kaga deje na yung su gi ane nyanen che disan ko jang chu ro dangazo tab de o do ching zo le tang bo chi yin bai na ni su kang la te ba che su gi da lo tang ka de chang wai na ka shi gi san ji rang gi ko che tu la ya su te ban ro de ya an ka shi yang ji sun ju ma an ka shi yang ji san ji me la yin na da kan de su gi 산지기 남직 거기서 그러다 뭐 산지 인발이야 되네 거기 나바데 말아마라 뭐지여라 하다 배제신의 제네센터 있는다 가리는다 가리도 지로 수수기 대바 타니 슈도다 로라 보신도 지 총바이나 대다가랑 돈이 수수기 소치신이야 도스체는 진도네야 수수기디 수수인데는 와 수선다 안 디토는 소유서 주다 제바이나 야보요레스 다는 레당보지나 네 도쇼 디시자체네 야여라 벌써 주도지야디 야보요레스 디체와이나 소소지네 니가 위소소 신나노야 신나다 신이간에 동던데 마세요 네 니네 소소기 르레야지 나나 사산로들 용데와 데줄레야바 그래서 그러면서 난도 야기 잠시야 시든 마 르르로야 시르레야 되네
Is it true that did this cross the shoe?
No, that's
Right?
is it true that Angela should right?
All right.
And then, you to know she has a
So here, as explained in the visual the commentary on the visualizations, one visualizes Shakyamuni Buddha as in the center of the visual, in the center of the merit field. However, it doesn't, or the visualization doesn't need to be limited to just visualizing Shakyamuni Buddha as the emanation of one's guru or inseparable from one's guru. Any form deity that one feels close to, for example, Avalokiteshvara, Tara, Manjushri, Medicine Buddha, so on and so forth. Any of these deities or these form emanations you can use as your main object of visualization. And just as if one were to visualize Shakyamuni Buddha as being inseparable from one's guru, you would do the same with any of these other emanations, of these other form emanations and deities as well. And so, whichever you feel most close to, whichever you feel most connected to, whichever you feel it generates or brings out in you the strongest sense of faith, you can visualize this deity as the center of the visualization. So likewise, when visualizing the field of sentient beings, again, the greater visualization involves a lot of different aspects and a lot of different types of beings and surroundings. And so as beginners, if we're not used to that, and things can start to feel a little bit overwhelming, and one may not be able to maintain focus and clearly visualize all of all those aspects all at once. And so instead of, if one finds it difficult to engage in visualizing all of those details and surroundings all at once difficult, then you can start out with just thinking about, for example, or visualizing, for example, one's mother and father, close ones, family, friends, and start out slowly in that way. So what's important is to start slowly and gradually according to one's capacity. If one doesn't have the capacity to visualize all of these details and surroundings and different types of beings all at once, then we shouldn't force it, because if we try to, if we force ourselves too hard to try to visualize everything at once, it can tire us out, it can wear us out, it can discourage us, and we can become lazy and lack the motivation to really visualize this all at once, because it's just too much and it's too overwhelming. So just according to how much we're comfortable with, what aspects of the visualization come to us most easily, that's what we should slowly start with, and then habituate ourselves to. And once we're comfortable with that, we then start to add those other aspects into the visualization. But remembering to start slow is important, because once we succeed in being able to visualize just the one or two things, or the three or four things, that brings us a sense of joy and a sense of fulfillment, and a feeling of success, or having succeeded. And that further inspires, or that inspires further visualization and practice.
and she was the one who she was more about the demon, but it was she a carcin totally the Jampa Zui and danger. Oh, there's some of Tanwa, that is some of the zoo, whether the Yamdo is Rangi Lucina Tsu Shu, Rangi Lucina Tsu Shu ni, and a Rangi Lucina Yoding, the Lula Yobina Salaswata, Sin the Yodi, Sing Dona Laswat, is it Sama, the name of also the Kenny sort of Lajan Jigdorba, Zubonala Kenny, Zubat Sama, Tavanajin, Twenty Chuluma, 20. And then also seemed as a showy cell ribatama, those child, leaders of it, shivonaging, leaders a young Buddha, the nature Sama, and just devil, all the Chasomonia with us. The Cheva in our rest.
So the next part of the visualization that we wanted to share a few details about are what is known as the emanation and absorbing, or illumination and absorbing of light. And this visualization involves after having formed the visualization of the Buddha, inseparable from one's guru, in front of oneself, one visualizes the Buddha not just as an image or a kind of a vague object of visualization, but visualize the Buddha as actually as the actual Buddha, being the real and true manifestation of the real and true Buddha in front of us. And then from the Buddha, one can visualize and imagine light radiating and emanating from the Buddha into and absorbing into our bodies. And as this light absorbs into our bodies, we experience and we absorb all of the Buddha's greatest qualities, including wisdom, loving kindness, compassion, and all the other qualities as well of the Buddha's body, speech, and mind. And then as we absorb this, we should feel a great energy and a great energy and a great inspiration and joy. And as we feel this, as we absorb this light, we also visualize that we're releasing from our bodies, mind, from our mind, body, speech, and mind, all releasing or purifying, or our mind, body, speech, and minds are being purified of all the most negative, adverse, unwanted aspects of our body, speech, and mind. So absorbing all the positive qualities and letting go of and releasing and purifying, being purified of all the negative ones, or the negative aspects of the body, speech, and mind are what we visualize during this, what is known as emanation and absorption of light. And as we are being purified and relieved of all the most negative aspects of our body, speech, and mind, we should feel a relief and a light lightness in our mind and in our bodies. As one slowly gains experience and further practices this type of visualization, the impact and benefit can be felt more strongly. And as we continue to habituate ourselves with this type of visualization, and understand as well that this is a form of meditation. So as we engage in this visualization and meditation, the benefit towards to be had in our minds and bodies will be felt more and more strongly. Relief of pain, a decrease in pain, a decompression, a decrease of tension and stress can be experienced or is experienced, and then gets stronger and stronger as you practice. Multiple benefits are involved, or multiple benefits are experienced in this meditation or visualization, including, as just mentioned, relief from pain, both physically and mentally, decrease of stress, a joy and a lightheartedness is experienced. And then also, another benefit that we should remember and we should know that is accumulated in this meditation or visualization is that positive imprints and good karma and good merit is accumulated and is collected in this activity, or in this practice. So there's many different benefits to be had, and many different incentives to continue practicing and to develop this practice. And this, again, with consistency over time and with gradual practice, you'll be able to maintain this sense of peace and joy and inspiration. And the more that continues, the more motivation you'll have to improve your and with that, you can experience kind of both short and long-term benefits, a continuum of benefits, if you will, rather than when we experience just ordinary worldly happiness that's here one moment and gone the next, or here one day and gone the next. If we can maintain it, or do our best to maintain this practice, that joy resides, and the benefits and the relief resides with us and in our practice. So if we can maintain that as best as possible, the benefits are experienced in this greater long-term process.
Yes. That's right.
So that's what we wanted to share with you today in terms of the commentary on visualizing the merit fields and the different types of merit fields, and then both extensive and abbreviated visualizations. We'll now surrender the mic to you. If there are any questions or anything you would like to discuss or share, please feel free to do so. Those of you online, please feel free to type in your question in the main chat box there, and I'll read it out to everyone attending so that we can discuss the question or the idea. Yeah, so you can, I'm noticing here in Zoom that there's a raise hand button that you can press as well. I think it probably notifies everyone of a hand being raised. So you can press that as well, but obviously for the sake of being able to read the question, if you could type it or input it here into the main, or insert it here into the main chat box, that'd be best. Okay, so we have one question online that reads, oh, okay, take your time, take your time. Sometimes we encounter certain audio issues, and that's the only reason why we don't have all our participants' mics unmuted. And the discussion takes more in the place of, particularly from those who are online, typed questions, and then we answer verbally, but the questions go back and forth, so that you only hear us, because if there are multiple voices going on at once, it somehow impacts the sound quality. And so for the sake of everyone participating, we limit it to limit questions online to just typing in the main chat box there. But yes, please take your time.
Yes.
Maybe we can try. I mean, if you're comfortable. This would be a first time, by the way. But we can try, for the sake of just checking. If you're comfortable with verbally asking your question, we can unmute on our end and just see if it sounds okay, or if it doesn't interfere with everyone else's sound. Would you like to try that? Whatever you're most comfortable with, either typing or verbally.
So Geshe sara.
맞아 가셔라.
어.
이 거란데 디 체게스 나로 거란데 달래 마사. 신디치는 소다 쳐줘라.
네.
다 가서 무슨 니마 디치디 마부스티 용기 살아. 미스 온라인으로 다 맞아 대출이 미스 오케이 말아.
네.
온라인도 this
네.
저도 zañiwa 세아로 치라야샤.
zañiwa 때서 되게 많던데. zañiwa 마보러. 근데래 메모라.
알레데도.
그다음에
So the question reads, when doing the visualization, can I visualize a guru that doesn't even know me and that I also don't know personally? 아니, 저거 들도 다니 단다 소신 검디로 미버 치드스마 미버 잔디 아니 라마 검거로 와서 아니 믹스 데펜데 제마니 와나마 더 충고 마신 파고 마신 그라 어딘지 초기나스 라마치 그라 더 소소야치 메바 유사시 이마체 네 수 뭐마킨바 소소이네 파 제마니와 아니 여러 어딘지 초기나스
그래 소소인 제마니와 소소 원신은 대박 유연한 리고라 지나 맞아 라마세야데 소소기 라마 차야죠라 들려야 아니 그런 집 대바지 돈이 아니 라마데자 춘리 정보 있는 신이 다 라마세야 차고요 지나 라마세야들 시당 거시지어란도 주고는 지용 차너와 준준라도 준된도 가서 라마 차야라고 되다 안에 남도 단전 쓰는데 손과 소소기 대바지 요치 라마데자 춘리 정보 있나 아니 신이 지 소소기 라마 차가 했어라 그래 라마 수 오마신 그때도 여지 우리가서 답에 지시는 것은 여러모지 성실을 미트먹고 요래 되나도 여러모지를 니마 원신 말아 콘솔 남아 속에다 찍기처럼 막 지신 참말이야 아니면 안 거요라 그래 다 수수면에 남아대 돼서 지금 다 취지다 지 취로 쉬는 거다 안 되어야나 안 수수도 남아 차고요라 지나 남아 술을 대바체네 리고라다 제초가다 수수 파모 맛이 좀 뭐마시네 대바체와 있는 수수 남다 사지요라 이내요 더 지소남사 지숑도 채워요 수수도 남아 차차나 대 소남 또 채워서야 또 가린 메드가 자손으로 랑 남아 자손으로 진짜 데를 또 참고 가라 참스나 더 디세와고 뭐라
So the answer to the question is yes, that even if the guru or this lama, should we say, doesn't know you personally or that you have never met personally, is the object of your visualization. That's possible, and that's something that you can do. Particularly if you have faith, or have a sense of, or have a feeling of faith, or cultivated a sense of faith in this guru, then yes, you can visualize this particular lama. However, for general conversation and general understanding, when we use the term guru, it's usually a certain individual or certain teacher becomes one guru through what is known as a dharma connection, or a connection formed in the dharma, where one as a student or a listener receives a certain transmission of the dharma from this lama, and it's through this dharmic connection that this individual becomes one's guru. And so visualizing, the difference between visualizing a lama that one has a personal connection with a lama whom you've never met, can be in the weight or the amount of merit accumulated when you're visualizing this guru. If this guru is your personal guru, someone that you've received, for example, teachings from, and you've created this dharma connection with, then when you visualize him, the benefits or the merit is higher or more than when you visualize a certain individual or a certain teacher that you haven't received or haven't formed a connection with personally. But that being said, That's not to discourage you, or not to say that you can't, or you're not allowed to visualize a guru or a lama that you have never personally met or who doesn't know you. As long as if you feel a closeness or a faith in this lama, despite having never met him or him not knowing you, it's completely fine to visualize this teacher or this lama as part of the merit field.
Tangpa lama chi tsaya Geshe boyores, lama tsaya de la lama chi chu tang ne, chu ma la lama chu yin na ne, nga la so ba de yo go ya ta de zo lam rin no pe je de ne song yores. Gigen gi tsenye ro jo ro cha jen ka ra chang mo de zo ta ne gigen de chang mo de zo to staya Geshe boyores. De mo do de ta mo chu na ha mo go lama de ya de je le chi chuan ro thong de ne ka ta ya ro de che ma 야고요 말 제초가 말했어. 그래서 배치는 총장이라고 했더니 이제는 딱그 총 야고 총대 군이 조부래 총샤를 봐. 근데 야고 마저는 군이 가가 지신도 되고 알아다고 좀 이내 남았어야 돼야 돼. 근데 말했어. 대꾸랑 동원이 따지야 그렇지. 근데 남의 제주도 상도문도 야고다. 근데 계속 남았던 지대는 마음방에 거의 주한 통콜을 갔지. 대고 로고야다. 근데 이거 문도 상상을 수수 생각이 저희들
So when it comes to forming this dharma connection with relying on a guru and accepting and taking this teacher as one's guru or lama, inspection and analysis and gradual familiarization with this individual is very important. In the Langri text, it explains very elaborately and extensively the qualities that are necessary for a lama to have, or the qualities that a lama or guru should have. There's 10 that are specifically mentioned, and even if this, if this individual or this teacher has all of these 10 qualities, that would be best. If not, then at least 5 of these qualities, or at least a number of these qualities, and it's important to investigate and to check whether this teacher or individual actually has these qualities, and if they do, and if they do exude these qualities, and you're able to trust in these qualities, and then only then should you start relying on this teacher or individual as your lama, or only then should you take this individual as your guru or your lama, because this relationship is a very deep and sacred one. Once you take someone as your guru, or you accept someone as your guru, after having, once you take someone as your guru, you should never criticize or badmouth or look at them in any negative kind of light. And if one does, then there are very severe consequences that one accumulates. And so this type of connection or relationship is one that should be very slowly examined, and one that you shouldn't rush yourself into right away. I should really take time to inspect and to check and to see if this individual is qualified to be one's guru, and take the time to see if they have these qualities, and then take the time to slowly connect and check if one feels a benefit from the qualities that they have or that they exude. And then through in that, it's in this process that one develops trust, and then from this trust, not only is it possible to actually take and accept this teacher as one's guru. So this is a process that is very important, very significant, and so when it comes to cultivating a guru or cultivating a lama, one should be very careful and take one's time in doing so. And the explanations on how and what qualities to look for are to be found. These explanations can be found in many Lamrim texts and commentaries. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Oh, don't worry. I think the question was fine, so don't worry. 光到修果松sa, ni inji ya shing mesa. I can't understand that. So we still have a few moments. If anyone has anything else they would like to ask or share. All right. Okay. Well, if no one has anything else to ask or discuss, we'll end the session for tonight. And we'll end the session by dedicating all the positive imprints and merit that we've accumulated in this session together by reciting the dedication, which can be found at the very beginning of the text. Just after the copyright page, you'll see it in the PDF there. So please recite along with us. To His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet, and all the holy masters of the Buddha Dharma, may they have long and healthy lives. To the teachings of the Buddha, may they endure for a very long time. To the members of the Sangha community, may they abide in pure morality, be free of any schism, and succeed in their studies and contemplations. To all beings, may they be free from suffering, and may they attain great enlightenment. To all the nations of the world, may they be free from illness, famine, war, and conflicts. May lasting peace prevail and endure forever. Thank you, and good night. I hope to see you next week.
See you next